Okay, let's do some work with slightly more complicated tables. First of all, here I have a problem where I am building a house of cards, and I want to know the height of the highest level of the house of cards. Actually, I want to know the height at each level of the house of cards. So, one way you can do that would be to make a table. So if I have two levels, I notice that the table is 24 inches and a single level is 3.5. So since there are two levels, I'm going to take 3.5 times 2. And I realize you could do 3.5 plus 3.5, but since we're going to be adding lots and lots of levels, we don't want to have to keep adding each time. If we multiply, that lets us, multiplication is kind of like the nice way of adding things when you have a lot of things that you're going to be adding. So I have 24 is kind of like my fixed height based on the height of the table. And 3.5 times something is my changing height. So if I have two levels, I do 3.5 times 2, or 3 levels is 3.5 times 3. 4 levels is 3.5 times 4, and so on. And if you have n levels, I think you can follow the pattern and see that you get 3.5 times n plus the 24. Okay? Now, I want you guys to do something similar and describe the height of any given number of stairs based on the following drawing. It's going to be really similar to what we did with the cards, but you're going to have to fill in the table. You're going to have a fixed amount that goes here. In fact, I'll even get you started. Our fixed amount is going to be 105. And when I am at the 0th step, it's going to be, well, every time I go up a step, it's going to be 50 centimeters. So if I do 50 centimeters when I'm at the 0th step right here, this is step 0, it's going to be 50 times 0 plus the 105, and I'm almost out of room, so I got to write that smaller. So 50 times 0 plus 105. And you are going to continue that pattern. You're going to have 1 step, 2 steps, and so on. You'll continue that pattern, and then once you write down the pattern, I want you to do it for n steps, okay, and figure out an expression for n steps, just like I did here, okay? Alright, so some additional examples of converting between words and expressions. I think we still need to do a few more of those. 4 times the quantity y minus 2. The word the quantity, or the words the quantity, means parentheses. It means group things together. So when I see the words the quantity, it means whatever comes next gets grouped together. So 4 times the quantity, and then I will group together in parentheses y minus 2. Okay? 4 times the difference of A and B. Okay, we treat this as if it were one thing. We're going to do this first. So here is where the grouping symbols go. I write the difference between A and B, and notice the order stays the same. Just like here, the order stayed the same. And I do 4 times the difference. So there we go. Okay? And then let's go in reverse. 3n minus 2. I'm just going to write this as 3 times a number. 3 times a number minus 2. Or you could also say the difference between 3 times a number and 2. And notice the order of both of those is the same. You really need to memorize these orders if you think that's going to be a problem for you, okay? And then here I have 2 things grouped together. Now, I don't just want to say 3 times m plus 12, because if I said 3 times m plus 12, you would probably think this, okay? And that's not what I see there. This is supposed to be grouped together, so I'll use the word the quantity. Parentheses, mean you use the words the quantity. Okay, so 3 times the quantity m plus 12. Or you could say 3 times the sum of m and 12. You could do that. So 3 times the sum of m and 12. Because the sum tells you we find the addition first, then we do 3 times that. So, you know, when you're writing things in words, there's a lot of different ways you could write it in words. When you're writing things as words as an expression, like I did over here, then, you know, you're pretty much fixed how you have to do it, okay? So hopefully you found this helpful. I hope you enjoy the Math Excel or the homework that I'm going to give you, whatever it happens to be. And I'll have a nice, wonderful do now for you tomorrow. I know you like do nows. I like do now. You know, sometimes I like to do nows. I like to do nows at home. You know, I just make them up for myself. Sometimes I like to wait on the do nows. Get it? I wait on the do nows. They wouldn't be a do now if you waited on. They'd be a do later. So anyhow, I will see you again soon, and hopefully you enjoyed section 1.1.